Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So I'm going to bring you my opinions and my thoughts on the win totals for the upcoming season for the 2022 and the 2023 NFL win totals. So as you can see up here, I have the NFL win totals. I got it from a source, pretty much from the Vegas source itself, and what they are giving as far as points and what they did last season. And next to it, I have their strength of schedule. So obviously, you can never be 100% sure on anything. So we have strong possibilities and weak possibilities. So if I feel like they have a strong possibility of repeating or doing or going over the total, I marked it with a yes. If not, then I marked it with a no. So let's start with the first game on the list, and that's the Arizona Cardinals. Real quick, Hopkins is out for the first 6 weeks for the Arizona Cardinals, even though the Arizona Cardinals have put up points and did really good without Murray in there, and I think they will still do pretty good without D. Hopkins in there as well. But starting the season off and you're number 2 with your strength of schedule, I have to go with probably not going to win the 9.5 because it's just a rocky start to the season. And again, I'm probably looking for more of a better possibility. So there's better possibilities out there. No need to risk our money on the Cardinals starting off the season. The Atlanta Falcons, they are 9th in strength of schedule, and they only need 4.5 wins to beat it. Now, can they squeeze out 4.5 wins? Any NFL team can squeeze out 4.5 wins, or should I say 5 wins on the season. It's just a matter of the schedule and if injuries hit a certain team or not. So, no, we can't make that possibility at the moment, in my opinion. The the Baltimore Ravens, 9.5. Now, Baltimore had faced a lot of injuries last year, and now I feel like their team is pretty good. But they did trade a wide receiver, which he wasn't a huge factor in their offense. Now, that's just my opinion. But I say yes because of the strength of schedule. They're 23rd in strength of schedule, and I've seen the teams they face, and they face some pretty easy teams, and they can beat a couple of hard teams, and Ravens are a top tier team in this, and they're only getting 9.5. So in my opinion, I say strong possibility of them hitting over 9.5 wins for the season, and as well as looking at the strength of the schedule, it kind of lasts. So that's pretty good odds in my opinion. The Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills. So with the Buffalo Bills, they had 11 wins last season. Now they want them to go over that 11 wins. Actually, I'm gonna change that. In their 12th in strength of schedule, they can repeat the 11 wins. I could see them getting 11 wins this year, but I'm gonna have to change this up. Going over 11 wins without any major improvements, like another number one or a defensive big name, it's going to be kind of hard to do that. So that's where I'm not going to bet on anything. I don't like the possibilities of Buffalo improving that much, and they're only 12th in strength of schedule. Now, again, depending on if there's injuries, barring, or the schedule itself, they may squeeze an extra, but look at how they played last year, and they still need a running game. They still haven't found that halfback to put them over and to get them through those crucial moments. So I'm not going to make a bet on that one. If I was going to bet, I'd probably go to the under. So a weak possibility of them going over the 11.5. So we have the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers is 5.5, and they're 12th in strength of schedule. Their defense looks really good. I believe Cam Newton is still playing on that team, and they do like what Cam Newton is bringing to the table, and that Carolina Panthers defense is serious, especially their defensive backs. So Carolina, I like them to go over the 5.5. If they're going to do a lot more than that, I think they could definitely squeeze out 6 wins. I mean, again, from what I'm looking at, from what they did last year, and I feel as though Cam Newton can get them over the top. And when you seen him play for New England, it was him who brought New England over 500. It was his play alone. So if Cam Newton can bring that kind of intensity to Carolina, absolutely they could get 6 wins. The Chicago Bears, and they're on 24th in strength of schedule. I'm not even gonna mess with the Bears. They have a lot of work. They traded the number 1 guy. Even though they're 24th, it's just gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for the Bears this year again. The Cincinnati Bengals, I say no. I mean, my opinion, they're 3rd in strength of schedule, so that's against them. Last season, I felt like they were that fluke team that got far, and there is no huge stats to support what they did. Like, they wasn't number 1 in defense, and they wasn't number 1 in offense. So going into this season without any major trades or any major additions, I don't see them doing 10 wins this season. So that's just me. That's just my opinion. I know I put that no in the wrong spot, but you get the picture. The Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys are last in strength of schedule, so they are facing more weak teams than most teams this year. So last season they had 12 wins. As far as schedule is concerned, they can get 12 wins, or they can at least get 11 wins this season. Now, depending on injuries and depending on the probability, because they really haven't faced any good teams last year, I'm not liking this 10.5 for Dallas, even though I feel as though they can get it, but it's going to be extremely close. It's going to be extremely close, in my opinion. There's just too many good teams this year. So I just got a question mark right there. Maybe in the middle of the year, if I see something, I might bet on them if they give me the option to. The Denver Broncos, yes, I'm going to say they can get 11 wins this season, but it's going to be extremely tight. So I'm going to be a little bit of bias because I do like Russell Wilson and what he brings to the Denver Broncos offense. And I know Jerry Jeudy, he did have some issues, so this is actually, I'm just going to stick with yes on that. I'm going to stick with yes. I'm not going to bet it. I do see them having 11 wins, especially being half and half as far as our strength of schedule is concerned. So that's just my opinion with that one. I'm still kind of up in the air, but I'm gearing more towards yes with 11 wins, especially if Melvin Gordon turns up like he did for the Chargers. We have the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions just been bad historically, and I can't put any money, even though they're 28th in strength of schedule, 6.5. They've just been bad. So I'll leave that alone. The Green Bay Packers, no. Only reason because they traded their number 1, and I don't know who the guy is. They do have a good defense, do have a good running game, and they do have Aaron Rodgers, which he is getting up there in age, but I don't think that's going to matter. And this actually really helps them being number 22 in strength of schedule. So that's actually helps their case. But 11.5 wins, they need 12 wins on the season without Devontae Adams. No, I don't see it happening. They can at least get 9. They can get 10. I feel like they're going to fall a game short. So that is a big no for me. Texans. Yeah. Let's move on. The Indianapolis Colts. I do like the Colts this year. I do like what they bring to the table. I can see them having 10 wins this season, and I can see them beating the Tennessee Titans twice without a number 1. And they're 26 in strength of schedule, so that is a yes for me. They're going to go over 9.5. The Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, they're 26 in strength of schedule. Brian Leftwich, he is the head coach, and I'm kind of curious on what he's going to provide to them. It is possible. You have a young team. You have all that talent. A lot of good things can come out of Jacksonville. So I'm undecided at the moment. Let me see how they look in preseason, and maybe I might re-hit this team. Hit this team and see what they can give me as far as totals for the season. The Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs 10.5. Their defense was horrible last year. Defense is horrible. Kansas City actually had a shaky start in their fifth and strength of schedule. 10.5 with a harder division. I think all them games in division are going to be 1-1. So I'm going to say no, especially with that defense. And then you trade Matthew, or not trade him, but you let him go and don't try to re-sign him again. Yeah, they got a lot of work on the defensive side of the ball. Then you trade Tyreek Hill. So no, you got a lot of things going against you. Let's see, the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's go ahead. I like the Chargers this year. 10.5 wins. I could see them getting 11. You can see them getting 11. They did pick up Khalil Mack. That's going to be a huge impact. They had 9 wins. Khalil Mack could get them a couple more turnovers, but that's just I like that 10. I like 11 games for them, but it's teeter-tottering. It could go either way. Like, they can have 10 wins or they can have 11. But I do like the Chargers. Chargers going to be strong this year. The Los Angeles Rams. Yes, I mean, they had 12 wins last year. They can repeat this year. And they're first in strength of schedule. Obviously, they're the number 1 team. And I do like to see them repeat. They had a bunch of good additions and a bunch of good superstars. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. They had a couple trades, but it's for the better, in my opinion. The Las Vegas Raiders. I'm gearing more towards the no, because for some reason the Raiders just been bad. Even though they did sign Adams, and that's a huge, strong possibility that they can get. They did sign Adams, didn't they? You know what? I'm going to take this off. They only need 9 wins. They can get 9 wins, especially with Adams. I'm going to go with a yes in this. I'm actually changing that right now, actually going over my thoughts. So, yes, they're going to get 9 wins. And they're 7th in strength of schedule. They're going to be in the hardest division. Yeah, I'm going to get that 9 wins. Yeah, we're going to get 9 wins from the Raiders, in my opinion. So, the Miami Dolphins, 8.5 wins. They have a team. They do have a team, and they're only 21st, but they have a brand new head coach, and yeah, I'm just going to be undecided with that one. 9 wins do sound good for the Dolphins, but 8 wins sound even better, so I'm undecided. The Vikings, I do like them winning their division, and they're 20th in strength of schedule. So I think the Vikings can make a run, and they have the best chance of beating Green Bay this year without a number 1 wide receiver. So still, it's just still undecided. I'm still undecided. The Patriots, I have faith in Bill Belichick. I do. I have faith in that team. I think they can definitely squeeze out 9 to 10 wins this season, depending on schedule and positioning, and they can definitely win the close ones. So I'm teeter-tottering towards strong possibility that they can get it done to go over 8.5. Next one, the New Orleans Saints. I'm high on the Saints. I'm really ecstatic what the Saints can bring. They did beat Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice last year, and that is not an easy task. If Jameis Winston can come into the league this year and have the same season he had in the beginning of the year, because he was hurt, but he had a good season to start off with. Michael Thomas was out. They didn't have Landry, and then they didn't have Tyrann Mathieu, and that defense is serious. So 7.5, that is a strong yes. Yes, I do like the possibility. Even though they're 7th, they're tied for 7th, I do like a yes. They're going to have 8 wins, more than 8 wins this season. Giants, even though they're 29th in strength of schedule, it's just hard. The quarterback just can't hang on to the football for me. The Jets, they're still young until their quarterback can stop throwing interceptions. I don't know about that. Giants. Then again, these are all my opinions. The Philadelphia Eagles, they got the number 1 wide receiver. That makes a huge difference. Hurts is going to ball out. And they're 30th in strength of schedule. So yes, I could see them with 9 wins this season. Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm gonna say yes. Because I'm biased on the Steelers. Take this pick with a grain of salt. Yeah, don't take me serious because I'm looking at Steelers and I think they could win it all. But that's just my opinion. That's my favorite team. So just so you know, just take that pick with a grain of salt. San Francisco 49ers, they had 10 wins last season. It's going to be hard for them to get 10 wins this season again. No major additions. They struggled to sign Deebo Samuel, but he did get re-signed, and he should be good. He should be good for today or for this season. And they still have a defense, but again, it's just so many teams right now that are really good. It's going to be hard for them to get 10 wins. Plus, they have to travel mostly to the East Coast, but they are 5th in strength of schedule. Seattle Seahawks, they need a lot of work. I'm not even going to waste my money on that. I'm not even going to take that chance. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they had 13 last season. I think everybody's going to be gunning for the Bucs. I like them with 11 wins this season. I like them with 11. So I'm going to say no. Not very possible that they can go over 11.5. Even though they did have 13 and Tom Brady is coming back. But new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator, we don't know. Tennessee Titans. The Titans. They traded their number 1 wide receiver. They had 9 or 12 wins last season, and they just need to win 9.5 now. They're 24 in strength of schedule. Their defense can do it. Again, they're just on that teeter-tottering point where I just can't. I don't know. I can't decide. They have just too many negatives going for them, so I'm just gonna stay off the board for them. And the Washington Commodores. You know what? I'm just gonna leave that how it is. Because it's kind of like Winston. He's pretty much back on the Eagles for me, and we seen what he did that last season. So the Commanders, I'm not even gonna make a bet on that one. But appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, bet wisely. This is my opinion on the totals for this season and the probabilities and not probabilities on these teams going over or under the total wins for the season. But that's all I have for you today. Appreciate it.